think it's been over a year since I did a video game review. Better do some kind of small review or something like that to get back into things. Hey, so this is Duck Avenger, and I've been out for probably almost a year and a month out of this video game reviewing thing. I think my last review was like a King RPG Baseball, so I'm trying to get back into it to do a small little review today so that I can get back into reviewing all the video games and doing everything like that how I used to. So thank you if any of you subscribers stuck around for all that, so where I've been away for a long time. But let's get right into it. I'm gonna find some kind of random game that I can review. Now, I like RPGs, and I like the Super Nintendo. Those go good together, but it seems like everything's been done on Super Nintendo. The Chrono Trigger, the Super Mario RPG, Earthbound. I've even done the DBZ, Dragon Ball Z RPG myself, so let's look at the games, the RPGs that made Super Nintendo famous. SNES RPGs. Maybe I need a little help on them. I'm not the youngest of guys, but I'm not the oldest guys either, so I didn't play all the RPGs until later in life on the SNES. I had a Sega to start out with when I was a kid, so that even made it worse. So I got this list on Google of like the SNES RPGs. I was about to say SRPGs, but the SNES RPGs. There's a lot of good ones on here, like Final Fantasy II, Orc Battle, that's a good one. Some that I haven't played a lot on here. There's ones like Final Fantasy III that everybody's played, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger. There's one of them on here, but I don't know what stands out. I like the Ys games. I played the one on PS2 and I played some of them, and not all of them have been translated over to English. So I'm sure there's a lot of them that have advanced translations. Let's see. What the heck is that game? Brain Lord? This Brain Lord game. This sounds like that could be interesting. Just by the title alone. I don't know anything about it, but I kind of want to play this Brain Lord game. So, Brain Lord, I didn't know what to think about this. I would think maybe it would be like maybe an SRPG, like you control troops or something like that. Like embrace the brainwash people, maybe? A Brain Lord basically sounds like that. But if I was thinking of that, then I'd be terribly wrong about this game. Because this game really is just basically kind of like the Legend of Zelda. I wouldn't say Zelda clone because I always hate that term because every game that's similar to The Legend of Zelda or like Final Fantasy or things like that, very famous franchises always get called clones, and I was like, I don't really think it's a clone. So what the cool thing about this game is that it's kind of its own game a little bit. Right here, you do the center thing right here, you enter your name, and I entered Duck right here, of course. But I would imagine in name is really that much of a difference. If you name it Duck, you name it Chris, you name it whatever. But you get to customize your character a little bit. The only wish that there would be able to be a little bit more customization. Like, anything else. Like, I always liked in Final Fantasy and some of the other games, like especially like Final Fantasy 1 or even like Final Fantasy 5, where you get to customize your characters either at the beginning or like through the job system. So right here, there's the kid. Here's the the person you grow up into is the kid right there, and their father's telling you all this stuff about all blah 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 story, and that's good stuff. So basically, you need to go help him out with some dragons. He's going to look for some dragons right now in Tower of Light, and you need to continue on the quest if he doesn't come back. Spoilers, he doesn't come back. Dang, I'm shocked. An RPG where someone goes on a quest and they don't make it back and you have to go looking for them and continue on their work and then probably find them later? How shocking. Oh wait, that's like the plot for like all the other RPGs out there. So I like this game a lot. And then you got Jay dreaming right here. You were dreaming about the past. So I like how this does not even try to subtly tell you the plot to the story or anything like that. Just basically throw it all out there. basically all at once, and then kind of a little bit later, there were people just telling you, like straight up telling you, oh, this is what has happened, this is what's going on. This guy right here, he's the main character, I guess. I don't even know what his name was, but yeah, he gets contracted into being an adventurer because someone needs to be get some adventures done or something. Really, I don't know how much the plot really matters to this, but they want them to go to the Tower of Light like his dad did to get some dragon scales so they could all be rich. I guess dragon scales are worth a lot. So they're going to go on an adventure, but really he's just going to go on an adventure by himself. So that's pretty cool, I guess. So go around the town, there's not much to do. Except I can talk to this lady, and she gives you questions like, hey, I can't pay you, but can you destroy all the mice in my attic? And I'm like, sure, I'll destroy any mice in anybody's attic, because that sounds heck fun. So I go up here, and I realize that my sword is long range as heck. So I'll go and, like, destroy, obliterate these rats, which this is actually pretty fun and very satisfying right here. If you ever have a bad day, you're like, man, my coworkers get on my nerves and everything like that, and just go on this game. And you can, like, destroy some rats and get out some that sweet, sweet anger that you have. So I get a couple things here. You know, you can find standard treasure chests like this. The one thing that I found here that was pretty cool is you actually have a jump, and that comes into play later, but it's pretty awesome. The controls, I would say the controls are very good. They are not flighty or slippery or anything like that. They control very well. When you press the start button to get into your inventory, so it's kind of like an RPG game, you know, like a lot of other ones you would find, like The Legend of Zelda, like keep going back to that. And it's a fair comparison somewhat. So I'll go around the whole, like, town thing, and I don't really find anything of use or anything of value that anybody says, and I really didn't find any kind of weapons or armor place in there. I might have not found it, but there was only like a general goods store, and I really like to have weapons and armor like as something to like aspire to, like to get money and everything like that. So here's the first combat, and it's ridiculously easy. Explode and obliterate these things without any hesitance and without any trouble right here. So the game seems way too ridiculously easy. It seems like the sword has too much of reach. Though there are probably some pretty good things in it, like as you're going, you can jump and be able to go up platforms and things like that. Though I always don't like so much platforming in my RPGs, but it's pretty cool. So we beat up these goblin-looking guys and jump and platform a little bit up the mountain and start into the Tower of Light. So I was going to the place that I was hoping the Tower of Light, but it seems like some random cabin. So I looked in a box and I found a jade. And what did I find in the jade? I found a fairy. And it's asked me to name the fairy right here, so I just thought of a girl name of Kate. Mother Fairy, though, turns to not really look like a girl, but whatever. So it's interesting. Like, what does the Fairy do? I hope it's like not like Navi in the Ocarina of Time. But so I pulled out right here, and it's actually pretty interesting. This fairy mechanic is, well, I'm going to use a heart right here until you can actually use a heart to increase your heart piece. It's kind of like The Legend of Zelda. I already found 2 by this point, and I've been playing for like 15 minutes. So I investigated what the Crimson Jade does, and it says that there's a fairy inside that uses fireballs, and I thought that's pretty cool. Like, you can a companion to start off with that will help you attack enemies, and the companion fairy can level up too, which is a pretty cool mechanic. Though, like, the guy here doesn't really level up. I like some of the RPGs that are action RPGs where you can level up by just killing the enemies. And it's okay, the mechanic to have like Legend of Zelda, like where you don't level up traditionally, you like get heart pieces. So it's interesting right here that the fairy, no matter what, will attack the enemies. So this one shoots fireballs. I'm sure you can get different ones, but it's a pretty cool little mechanic for this game. So again, I compare this game to The Legend of Zelda. It has some puzzle solving. I think a lot of RPGs, action RPGs, especially would have puzzle solving in it, but it seems to be the most tedious of puzzle solving. Like, I always have the rock right there, so that I have to walk around another platform right there just to push the rock onto this switch right here that I have to open the door with. I'm okay with pushing the rock to the door to open it, but it just added a few extra steps just to be tedious. So, like, it's like a movie that's trying to pan out its runtime by like using all these stock footage shots. So I was almost kind of worried this game had like no challenge, but oh ho ho, we'll get into some challenge. And so the pathetic ones right there. Like, I just started walking down this hallway, like nothing. and these spikes all of a sudden attacked me. They popped up out of nowhere and attacked me, like no warning or anything like that. And so I almost died from those spikes, just not thinking, just walking down the corridor. And so I have to be careful because my life is down to 2 of those hearts. And if I stand on those spikes, I will die. Like, the spikes don't play around. Like, a second is like almost 3 hearts away. And then it makes this annoying noise when my heart power is down. Making that noise over and over again. I know my heart level's down, you don't have to make that noise. So I have to be careful walking through this. And who knew that this would happen? Like this hasn't happened in the game before. The game has been really easy. I thought there was going to be not so much challenge to it. But popping spikes out the floor, they're not the best way to add some kind of challenge to the game. So there's some cool enemies in here. Like this enemy that I have right here. He's, I guess, like a kind of brain, like jellyfish. It's pretty cool. I'm able to use magic on him. And yeah, you can get magic spells in this game. And what the heck? I guess I should have known you can't walk there. Interesting. So I guess I went to somewhere else when I fell down that hole that looked like a black hole. So I guess I definitely did something wrong there. I guess I should have known that that would happen, but I don't know. Like there hasn't been anywhere else I can walk before I fell down that pit, so I don't know. So I guess there's platforming in this game. It's not bad. Like I don't always like platforming in my games like this, but I mean it's got to be something to keep up the different ways of playing this game. Like you gotta be something to keep it interested. So I eventually went into this game because like, why did it get so hard and unpredictable? It's not really hard, but it's just unpredictable. Like right there, there was no spikes for the whole hallway, and I fall down and die right there because the spikes need to be right in front of the treasure chest. Lucky I had a revival mirror, but in this game, it seems like it's starting to be one of those games that everything wants to kill you. So I walked through this, and I randomly get killed, and luckily I had that revival thing, and I got the treasure. And I'll go in here, and let's see what's in here. Yeah, it looks all good and everything like that. Doesn't look like there's anything to what's... Oh my gosh! Why are those balls going after me? Like, I guess this was a trap room also, but the balls didn't appear at the end, and I couldn't really avoid them. And what the heck? They're coming back? Like, that was a sentient ball right there. It moved from left to right when the other ones were moving up and down. Now, what's this death room going to be? I guess I can avoid this. And it's cool that they have these little different enemies with the bows and arrows, but this game is really making me mad with some of the stupid traps that they have that I can't be able to see. So I like this room. This is a clean trap room because I can actually defend myself and I can actually see what the people are coming. So I got some kind of longbow right here, and I started to feel that I didn't want to play this game anymore because I felt that the traps and stuff were only going to get worse. And so I was kind of getting discouraged right here, and I was like, if I lose my life, I might be going on after this, and I might not be playing the game. So I get a key and try to use it on the door, but basically it's the wrong door. So I have to go back to the other place and see about going to another door. And so this is where I kind of quit, because eventually there was another room where those crazy spikes popped up, and I kind of thought the death was a little bit cheap. So I don't know. I'm not one of those guys that's like a masochist or anything that likes playing all these terrible games for the whole full playthrough. I like to get a sample of them, maybe play something a little bit better. I don't think this is the worst game. I think it has some great elements, and it reminds me a little bit of Zelda. And I kind of like that the guy has like a big sword that has a big range that you can really hit enemies with. And though it really like ramps down like difficulty a lot because you don't really have to get in close combat with the guys. So I think this could be a pretty fun game. Just maybe if you maybe had a walkthrough and knew where some of the little traps were. But it's not my kind of game for me to play through. I'd rather play something like The Legend of Zelda, any of the iterations of those. But it could be a good game for anybody. Though I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't more like what they would say thinking, because it's the Brain Lord. It's kind of hoping almost to be like a strategy game, like a SRPG, where there'd be a lot of thinking into it. Like maybe you were some kind of lord that took over a lot of people. See right there, there's death. There's my death, and that's after I quit. That's basically where I quit right there. I was just randomly walking through a hallway and died. But yeah, it might be good for someone. It wasn't my kind of game though. So this has been Duck Adventure. Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys get back to subscribing and watch my videos. I want to come out with a lot more videos on game reviews. Thanks. Adios.